Vanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Yashodanandana Raja Jaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Kunj Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunj Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jagadharma Shri Hariram Sankirtan ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Saveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai Jai Gaur Premanande Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiret Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Ruttama Shloki Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter number 26, The Hellish Planets, text number 36. So, as it is prose, I will only read. Yastvaiha va adhyamimatir ahankritis tiryak prekshana sarvato abhivishanki artavyaya nasha chintaya parishushямana hridaya vadano nivritam Anavagato Gahaivartam Avirakshati Sachapi Pretya Tadutpadanoksharana Samrakshana Shamala Graha Suchimuke Narake Nipatate Yatraha Vittagraham Papa Purusham Dharmaraja Purusha Vayakaiva Sarvato Angeshu Sutre Parivayanti. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Yeah, any person who, to, but, iha, in this world, va, or, adhyadimati, proud because of wealth, ahankriti, egotistic, tiryak prekshana, whose vision is crooked, sarvata abhivishanki, always fearful of being cheated by others, even by superiors, artavyaya nasha chintaya, by the thought of expenditure and loss. Parishushямana, dried up. Hridevadana, his heart and face. Nivritim, happiness. Anavagata, not obtaining. Graha, a ghost. Iva, like. Artham, wealth. Abhirakshati, protects. Sa, he. Cha, also. Api, indeed. Pretya, after dying. Tat, of those riches. Utpadana, of the earning. Utkarshana, increasing. Samrakshana, protecting. Shamalagraha, accepting the sinful activities. Suchimukhe, named Suchimukha. Narake, in the hell. Nipatati, falls down. Yatra, where. Ha, indeed. Vittagraham, as a money grabbing ghost. Papa Purusham, very sinful man. Dharma Raja Purusha, the commanding men of Yamaraj. Vayakaiva, like expert weavers. Sarvata, all over. Angeshu, on the limbs of body. Sutrai, by threads. Parivayanti, stitch. Translation: one who in this world or this life is very proud of his wealth, always thinks, I am so rich, who can equal me? His vision is twisted and is always afraid that someone will take his wealth. Indeed, he even suspects his superiors. His face and heart dry up at the thought of losing his wealth, and therefore he always looks like a wretched fiend. He is not in any way able to obtain actual happiness, and he does not know what it is to be free from anxiety. Because of the sinful things he does to earn money, augment his wealth and protect it, he is put into the hell called Suchimukha, where the officials of Yamaraj punish him by stitching thread through his entire body like weavers manufacturing cloth. So very painful purport. When one possesses more wealth than necessarily, he certainly becomes very proud. This is the situation of men in modern civilization. According to the Vedic culture, Brahmanas do not possess anything, whereas Kshatriyas possess riches, but only for performing sacrifices and other noble activities as prescribed in the Vedic injunctions. A Vaishya also earns money honestly through agriculture, cow protection, and some trade. If a Shudra gets money, however, he will spend it lavishly without discrimination or simply accumulate it for no purpose. Because in this age there are no qualified Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, or Vaishyas, almost everyone is a Shudra. Kalo Shudra Sambhava. Therefore, the Shudra mentality is causing great harm to modern civilization. A Shudra does not know how to use money to render transcendental loving service to the Lord. Money is also called Lakshmi, and Lakshmi is always engaged in the service of Narayan. Wherever there is money, it must be engaged in the service of Lord Narayan. Everyone should use his money to spread the great transcendental movement of Krishna consciousness. If one does not spend money for this purpose, but accumulates more than necessary, he will certainly become proud of the money he illegally possesses. The money actually belongs to Krishna, who says in Bhagavad Gita 5.29, Bhoktaram yagna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. I am the true enjoyer of sacrifices and penances, and I am the owner of all the planets. Therefore, nothing belongs to anyone but Krishna. One who possesses more money than he needs should spend it for Krishna. Unless one does so, he will become puffed up because of his false possessions. and therefore he will be punished in the next life as described herein. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Salake Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrachatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Mate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatare Shatarine Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaurasve Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda He Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pamanangayate yat kripaha tamaham vande Shri Guru Deva. Hare Krishna. So I seek the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas so that I can speak on this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam for the glorification of Lord and purification of my own heart. So this section of 5th canto is talking about the hellish planets. So it's talking about the topic of sthana, the position of various planetary systems, also the position of various living entities as per their karma. So we are hearing here how the various living entities as per their karma are being placed in various hellish planets as per their activities, and they are getting punished because of their sinful activities. So somebody may say that why God is so cruel, that is punishing the living entities so severely. These punishments look very, very severe. Even if small thorn enters our feet, it's so painful. If someone is stitching with a needle, the Suchi Mukha, so hell, which is mentioned here, like stitching thread in a cloth. So they're stitching the skin. So obviously it will be very painful. So, but it is actually mercy of Krishna, because the living entities who are rebellious, who are not listening, just like sometimes parents may appoint one tuition teacher to teach the child, because the child may not be listening to the parents. So the teacher may beat the child. for the welfare of the child. So somebody may say, "Arey, how come the parents are so harsh towards the child? They have arranged this teacher to beat sometimes." So actually, it is for the benefit of the child. The child may not understand how it is beneficial. He is innocent, he is childish, he only plays. So he doesn't understand how it is beneficial for long term future. Similarly, Krishna knows that the living entities can be happy only in his loving service. Mame Vamsham Jivabhute, Jivabhuta Sanad. We are all part and parcel of Krishna. And we are his servants, eternal servants. And living entity can experience the highest bliss, happiness, only in serving Krishna. Because Krishna is all attractive, Bhagavan, source of all opulences. So he can only experience the highest happiness he is looking for or hankering for only in his service. But he is trying to enjoy independent of Krishna in this material world. And not only that, means he is doing so many sinful activities. So then he will not get that happiness he is hankering for. So to make him understand that what he is doing wrong, so Krishna arranges Yamaraj and his servants so that they can realize that they have done mistake. Correct? Otherwise, they will not realize. Like suppose in a school there is no discipline, but anybody can come anytime. Right? There is no that PT sir, na? Yeah. So if suppose there is no such strict discipline, what will happen? Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Jayannath Baldev Subhadramai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. So suppose there is no PT sir, so the children will never be fearful. Correct? They will come anytime they want, or they may not come only. They'll just play at home. Right? But so fear is required actually, at least to obey the rules and regulations. Correct? So we see means at least in my days, teachers used to have cane. So whenever homework is not done or people disobey, they used to beat. So that fear was there. So at least out of fear, people used to study well or do their work, whatever is assigned. So that similarly Krishna has arranged this Yamaraj and Yamadutas so that we at least recognize that we have committed mistake and come out of those tendencies. Realize that we have done a mistake. Otherwise, conditioned souls will continue doing all these sinful activities and they will think it is okay. Right? It is okay to continue like this. But they are supposed to realize that they have done a mistake. So that's why this punishment in various hells is being arranged as per their sinful activities. And another thing which we can realize or remember is that how we are saved from all these hellish conditions of life, even in this material world, or even from this hellish planets, by coming to Krishna consciousness. So by mercy of Prabhupada and Vaishnavas, we are actually saved from hellish life. So yesterday only, Harivenu Prabhu had sent one story in relation with somewhat like related to hellish planets. So I thought to just share. So how by Guru's mercy a disciple is saved. So in 1930s, one devotee got connected to Krishna consciousness, and in 1933 he got initiated from his own Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Same year, I think Prabhupada also, 1933. So he was from Assam, that devotee. So he continued practicing Krishna consciousness for some years. And after some time, he stopped practicing. And he started doing sinful activities like eating meat and all this. He stopped practicing Krishna consciousness. So after some years, then he died because of some, ill health. And after his death, so obviously because he is Hindu, so they were about to burn his body on wood sticks. So when they were about to burn, suddenly he starts shouting, Prabhupada, Prabhupada, and gets up from that, what do you call? Huh? Fire, fire, whatever, fire. So he just starts shouting and getting, removes that wood. So everybody there becomes fearful because he died and about to be burnt, and suddenly, they all ran, thinking that maybe some ghost. They all ran away from that place. So then he went home and he said to his family members that I am going to join, fully dedicate my life. I am going to Calcutta now from Assam. So then later he was telling his story that after he died, so Yamadutas came and they took him. So and while going, he experienced lot of heat. He was feeling so much thirsty. So he said, Yamadutas, please, I need some water. So then they showed river filled with vomit, mucus and all horrible things. So he said, how can I drink? They said, this is what is available for sinful people. You have to adjust with this. So he felt, I can't drink this. So then he was taken to, what do you call, before that, Chitragupt. So he said that there are so many people in line. And for each one, just like in here we hear, they were being given all punishments. So when his turn came, Chitragupta said, he's a special case. So we should send to Yamaraj. He didn't tell what is the. So then when he went to Yamaraj, because it's a special case, so in Yamapuri, so Yamaraj said, no, did you do any good deed in your life? Then he thought for some time. Then he said, I took initiation from, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So then Yamaraj closed his eyes and remembered Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. So there Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati appeared in front of his disciple and Yamaraj. And then he chastised him. You rascal, why you did so many sinful activities, eating meat and, after initiation, how can you do all this kind of horrible activities? That's why you are here. Then he asked forgiveness from his spiritual master. Please forgive me, spiritual master. I did all this and I will never do again. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said okay, and he forgave him. Then Yamaraj told, okay, now by mercy of your Guru you are saved, you go back. So then he goes. So then immediately he goes to, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also says that you go to Calcutta and take initiation Harinam, because by that time Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur left this world. So he said, you meet Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj in Calcutta and you take Harinam Diksha from him. So this devotee goes from Assam to Calcutta and he goes to that mutt. So then he starts narrating what happened. But the Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj stops. He said, I know that. I already came to know from my spiritual master. So you need not tell me, take this Harinam Diksha. And he gave him Harinam Diksha. And the devotee continued staying in that mutt for 8 years, chanting holy names and Just like Ajamil, revived his Krishna consciousness, like that. So actually I was thinking that actually we are also in somewhat similar situation. Yeah, we are not taken to hell, but this material world also, Prabhupada says, is no less than hell. Right? Birth, old age, disease, death. So many problems with the body, mind, right? Adhyatmik, Adibhautik, Adidevik miseries. So, but by Guru and Krishna's mercy, we are all saved from this. At least we know how to deal. No. Pain is compulsory, suffering is optional. Right? There is pain in this material world, but Guru gives us the consciousness by which we can deal with those pains properly. So that was really inspiring for me also personally. So here the aspect of how to use one's wealth is being mentioned, right? Kunti Maharani also mentions Janma Aishwarya Shuta Shrivi Edamadam Adapuman Naivarte Abidatum Vai Twamma Kinchana Gochara. That those who have high birth, high education, wealth, beauty, all these opulences, so they may become proud about possessing those, and because of that they cannot feelingly utter your holy names, or they cannot chant your holy names feelingly. They cannot take shelter of Lord, who is the shelter of impoverished, because those who think they are great, how will they take shelter of the Almighty Great? It's difficult, right? So just like water flows from up to down, right? Not from, no, it's difficult, to go up water, right? So similarly, if somebody starts thinking I am great, then means how will he ever take shelter of Lord? It's very difficult. So Prabhupada is mentioning, generally people become very proud of possessing wealth, more than what they need, right? As it is mentioned, there is enough in this world for everyone's needs, but not for one man's greed. Prabhupada gives this famous example in Nectar of Instruction, that if you keep a rice bag on the street, so some birds may come and take few grains and fly away. But a man, who is greedy, he will see left and right and he will take away the whole bag only, because he is greedy for wealth. That is a situation of greedy man. So when man is greedy for wealth, so then he is always in anxiety, as Prabhupada is mentioning. So Prabhupada is mentioning that in the past, in the Varnashram system, the Brahmanas were simple. They didn't possess any wealth. Even if they were given a lot of wealth, they will again distribute it. They will only live a simple life. Yajan yajan, patan patan, dana pratignaha. So they will perform yajnas, they will teach scriptures, they will perform all this, but they are not attached to wealth. And Kshatriyas, Prabhupada is mentioning, because they collect taxes from all the other citizens, so they have that wealth. But they are not supposed to enjoy that wealth. They are supposed to engage all those in the service of God and in the service of all the citizens in a Krishna conscious way, right? Not that they enjoy all that wealth. If they only accumulate that wealth, then actually it creates envy in the heart of others. We hear about French Revolution, where the kings had so much wealth and they were showing off all that to people. And finally the citizens only cut off their head, because they were only showing off, they were not using it in service of the citizens. So, and Prabhupada is telling the Vaishyas, they used to earn money honestly through agriculture, Krishi, Go, Raksha, Vanijam. But they will also engage that money in the service of the Lord. They will give taxes properly to the king, and they will also use that in the service of the Lord. So, but Prabhupada is mentioning a Shudra doesn't know how to spend money. He only spends it lavishly, without discrimination. So, because he doesn't have any understanding of scriptures, he is in mode of ignorance, he will only misuse that. So, Prabhupada is mentioning that how, because money is Lakshmi, it should always be engaged in the service of Narayan. So, we hear that when Parikshit Maharaj saw that Kali personified was attacking the cow and bull, so he immediately stopped him and he wanted to punish him. So he took shelter, that Kali personified took shelter of Parikshit. So then he asked, please give me some shelter. So Parikshit said, wherever these 4 sinful activities happen, no meditating, all this, so there you can stay. But then Kali said, there is no place in your kingdom. There is no such place in your kingdom that where these activities are happening. So just you can understand that how the kings were in those days. They were so alert that they were not allowing any of the sinful activities to happen in the kingdom. Nowhere, not in any corner, not just in on this planet. In the sense, those days we hear that how the kings were ruling all the other varshas also. So such huge kingdom, and still they are making sure that nobody crosses the religious principles, right? Without any CCTV cameras. Now we have CCTV, we have so many things, so many, but still, because the Yada Raja Tada Praja, the kings were setting example. Like we hear about various kings, Ambarish Maharaj and all. So once Radhesham Prabhu was telling that every day Ambarish Maharaj used to worship Lord until like around 11 or so, fully engaged in the service of the Lord. Now somebody may say, if a king is so busy until 11 in serving Lord, then who will take care of the kingdom? Right? Yata taror mula nishechanena tripyanti tatskanda bhujopashaka. Because they were pleasing the Supreme Lord, automatically Lord will provide everything required for the maintenance of the kingdom. So we hear in the first canto also about King Yudhishthir Maharaj's kingdom. Everything required was there, and he was just absorbed in serving the Supreme Lord. Right? So because everything required for the citizens was there, then nobody was greedy for wealth, or nobody was doing anything wrong. Why people will steal, or why people are dissatisfied? Because there is no enough wealth, or their needs are not being fulfilled. Still, sometimes there may be some demonic people, we see it every time, but then the chance is less. But now, because there is no enough wealth, there is no enough, the government is not providing for everyone's needs also. So that's why there is problem. But Prabhupada says this is all artificial. What? The government says that there is no enough food. Prabhupada says it's all artificial. Why? Because Prabhupada says there is so much land. There is so much land that Prabhupada says it can provide 10 times the current population. So overpopulation is a myth, Prabhupada says. Mother Earth can provide 10 times the current population if only people follow Krishi Goraksha, right? Do agriculture and all these things, cow protection. But because people are not doing that, that's why there is so much problem in the current society. Nobody is doing agriculture, farming. It's considered a very low profile. If somebody says, I'm doing farming, no, no, like he's seen as uneducated or useless fellow. Correct? But if somebody says, I'm working in Microsoft or Google or whatever, then immediately people start praising him on. They see him as something very high, very intelligent person. Oh, like that. Correct? So then obviously the society becomes like that. People think that this agriculture is only for useless people who can't study, for those who are unintelligent. So it's not like that, right? In fact, actually, those jobs are Shudra's jobs. Because Prabhupada is mentioning that those who work for under someone, who take money from others or working from someone, Prabhupada says they are actually Shudras. Prabhupada is mentioning one of the purports. So, yeah. So, Prabhupada is mentioning that all the excess money should be spent to spread the great transcendental movement of Krishna consciousness. So, and he's saying if one does not spend money for this purpose and accumulates more than necessary, he will certainly become proud of the money he illegally possesses. Prabhu is saying it is illegal to possess more money than required. So somebody will say, how it is illegal? I am earning and I am saving, so how it is illegal? So Prabhupada then is quoting Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. Because all wealth belongs to Krishna. So Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam Etkincha Jagatyam Jagat. So everything is Krishna's. But as per your karma, Krishna gives you some wealth. But you use it for your needs, not for your greed. And use the remaining in Krishna's service. So Rupa Goswami set an example for all the devotees. So we know that he spent 50% of his wealth, gold coins, he gave it to Vaishnavas. And 25% he kept for himself. Right? And 25% I think he gave to relatives. Correct? Yeah. So once His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu was telling, knows that's how it is possible to give 50%. Because if you tell this to some devotees, so sometimes they say, Prabhu, is it printing mistake or it is 50 or 5? Maybe it is printing mistake. I think it should be 5%. Please check again. No, it is 50 only. Not 5%. So somebody may be surprised how it is possible to give 50%. That too in this age with so much cost. Everything is so costly. Correct? And the cost of living is also very high. So Radheshyam was telling that whatever you use in Krishna's service, that comes under that 50%. So for a Grihastha, if he is doing deity worship, taking care of deities at home, and going for yatras, organizing programs at home, or giving donations to temple. So all this comes under that 50%. And remaining 25% can be used for personal needs, family needs, and 25% for emergency in the future. Now, if somebody wants to follow this principle, then one has to follow the principle of simple living, high thinking. Then only it is possible. No, but sometimes devotees say, no, I want to have costly living because I want to use everything in Krishna service. Like somebody may say, I will take a villa with 4 crores in Gachibowli or maybe more. Prabhu, why you are taking such a costly, and that too with loan, EMI for whole life, 20,000, 30,000 or whatever, EMI for whole life. Why you are taking such a costly? No, bro, I want to do programs for devotees, or no, I want to keep Maharajas in my house, big house, something like that. So they may say like that, but actually no program may happen, or program may happen, he is not there because he is busy working, because he has to. Program may happen, but he is not there because he has to work 15 hours, or because there is no time for attending the program, right? So if we follow the principle of simple living and high thinking, then it is possible. So if not 50%, at least one can start with 5%, 10%, whatever is possible, and gradually increase. Because if we suddenly say 50%, no, people may get shocked, right? We hear about His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj when he was working, or some Prabhupada disciples, they would get the salary and give everything to Prabhupada, all 100%. And then Prabhupada would take some what is required, and remaining he would give for their needs. That was the level of surrender, offering everything in the service of Guru. So that high level of surrender may be difficult because we may be fearful whether something will come or not. But okay, to start with, at least one can start with 5%, 10%, whatever, and then gradually increase, because obviously one cannot artificially detach oneself. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasavarjam rasopesya parandrishtva nivartate. So when you develop higher taste, then you can give up the lower taste of this world. Prabhupada tells the story of one very rich person who joined the Gandhi's movement, and he left his job. He was earning a very high salary, but then he joined Gandhi's movement and he left. So he suddenly didn't get any salary, and he had to live simple life. It was so much intolerable for him to lead such a simple life. Previously he was living a posh living. So because of that he died, because he could not tolerate that that very, very simple living suddenly. So obviously suddenly somebody becomes, gives up his whatever way of living, artificially detaches, it is not possible. So even to offer one's wealth to Krishna, because it is said wealth is more dear to one than one's life also, or wealth is as sweet as honey for individuals. So especially when one works hard, so, and especially if he is in the mood of doership, prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvaja ahankara vimudatma karta. So when he thinks I am the doer, then automatically the enjoying mentality comes. Because I worked hard, I should enjoy all this property or money which I got. But actually we should understand that Krishna is giving us the ability to work. Correct? He is giving us this body, the abilities, the intelligence, everything to work. Correct? If Krishna doesn't give us all this, we will not be able to work. Correct? So ultimately he is giving us the ability. So Krishna is telling, et karoshi adyasnasi, et juhosi dadasiyat. Right? Tat kurusvam madarpanam. So you offer all your work or whatever you are eating as an offering to Krishna. Why? Because Krishna is giving you all that. Don't think that you are able to work on your own. Right? Don't think that you are earning on your own. It's all Krishna's mercy. So because Krishna is giving all that, so you should engage it in Krishna service. Right? So Ravana's mentality is that use Mother Lakshmi for one's own enjoyment. Hanuman's mentality is engage Lakshmi in Ram service or Krishna service. So whenever we have desire to enjoy, that is Ravana's mentality. Right? So all wealth is meant for Krishna's pleasure. But if I am using that wealth for my own enjoyment, then I am having Ravana's mentality. So Ravana had kingdom of gold. Correct? He had so much wealth, so many followers, everything. But then, because he used all that in his own service, that's why he is destroyed. So Prabhupada followed the principle of Yukta Vairagya. Right? So he wanted to engage everything in Krishna service. So when some disciples once came to Prabhupada and they said that, Prabhupada, this Swamiji is very famous because no matter how much wealth people donate, he only rejects. He doesn't accept even one penny. So he is so famous because he is so much detached. So Prabhupada said, you bring all the money of the entire world and you click a photo embracing that wealth. I am ready to engage all the wealth of the entire world, not for my enjoyment, but for Krishna service. So that is Prabhupada. And Prabhupada was really expert because he was actually detached. And because he was detached, he was able to do Yukta Vairagya. Right? So he was able to engage everything in Krishna service. So, but how do we know that Prabhupada is detached? Whatever was arranged by Krishna, he was accepting. So sometimes we hear that in Detroit, Prabhupada got a mansion where even the taps were gold plated. We have steel coated taps or whatever. But there were gold plated taps. Right? So sometimes they were staying in such mansions. And when Prabhupada went to Bhubaneswar or Mayapur in the initial stages, so they were staying in small huts, right, for several months. And Prabhupada was happy staying there. It's not that he was frustrated or dissatisfied. And when he stayed in New Vrindavan also, there were hardly any sabjis because in 50-kilometer radius there is no shop. Like if you go and purchase vegetables from some shop, there is nothing like that around New Vrindavan. So there was only pokeweed, some pokeweeds. So that was the only thing available. So every day they were cooking pokeweed sabji, pokeweed pakoda, that only. Everything with pokeweed, nothing else. And Prabhupada never complained that where is palak, where is this or that. He just accepted whatever was arranged by Krishna. He said, okay, if this is what Krishna arranges here, I'll accept this. That was mode of Prabhupada. So he was very detached. Right? So that is the mode of Prabhupada. So because he was detached, that's why he was able to do Yukta Vairagya. He was able to follow that. But as devotees, if we are not detached, then to follow Yukta Vairagya is very difficult. So whatever wealth or skills, knowledge we have, if we are not detached, we may misuse that. In the sense, instead of engaging those opulences in Krishna's service, we may use it in our own service, in sense gratification. Right? So devotees also, on behalf of Prabhupada and Krishna, they also collect funds. In the sense, even Prabhupada days or even now also, like life membership or so many different ways devotees collect funds. But then we should also be very careful, because as here Prabhupada is mentioning, there is always scope of pride when there is, because as Parikshit told Kali that you can stay in gold, right? So Prabhupada says, wherever there is gold and women, there is always chance of fall down. So one may become proud about possessing that wealth, or collecting those donations, or having contact with such high profile people. So that pride can destroy us. So we should be very careful not to, one can meet such people or collect donations from such people, but we should understand that we are just instruments, and people are giving it because we are from Iskcon, we are in touch with Iskcon, right? It's not that people are giving donation to us, correct? If we go separately, they may give 5 rupees or correct? Now they may be giving 5 lakhs or 5 crores. So somebody may become proud, say, see, I collected 5 crores. But we should understand that because we belong to Iskcon, they are seeing Iskcon as an organization which is spreading Krishna consciousness, doing welfare to the society. That's why they are giving. Correct? So we should be very careful. Otherwise, devotees also can become proud of being in contact with such high profile donors and collecting donations, all such things. So we should remember that we are just instruments in the hands of Guru and Krishna, and we are simply being engaged by their causeless mercy. So we should always pray to Krishna to please protect me from this false pride of being in contact with all such people or collecting money on behalf of Prabhupada. Right? Otherwise, we may get distracted from the principle of Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Saishna, Amanena Manadena, Kirtaneya Sadahari. And sometimes we see also that even devotees sometimes when they collect Lakshmi, and if they forget, they become proud, they start using that for their own service also. Sometimes it happens, right? So one should be very careful. Prabhupada was so much particular in maintaining the accounts, right? Whatever he got and whatever he spent, right? Once, I'll just end with this. When once Prabhupada was with one of his disciples, one person came and gave 5 rupees donation. So Prabhupada told his disciple to collect it. After a few days, Prabhupada asked, where is that 5 rupees? Prabhupada asked, where is that 5 rupees? Did you submit? No. Where is that? No. Prabhupada was so much maintaining International Society for Krishna Consciousness, big organization. Now somebody may say, why Prabhupada should worry about 5 rupees? After all, hardly it is 5 rupees. No, what it is going to matter for Prabhupada? He may be having $5 million or more. But Prabhupada is concerned about whether it is being engaged in Krishna service or some other service. Whether it is also being protected properly or not. Sometimes we may collect and keep it here, there, and we may forget only, and it is lost also. Sometimes it happens. We don't even remember where it is. or while washing clothes it is found sometimes. So Prabhupada is very particular about it. So we have so much to learn from Prabhupada. So we'll end here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveta Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai.